What's up, guys? It's Nico, Inefficient Market, with MIC. The God, I'm at a kind of flustered today. I didn't have my mocha this morning. Maybe that was my issue, but I'm not licensed. I'm not registered. This is not investment advice, even if it sounds like investment advice. And the reason for today's video, you might tell I'm not as upbeat as I am usually. I'm a bit frustrated. Had a tough day today, and it's been a long time since I had a day like this. But before I get into that, I want to first talk about getting to know myself as a trader and as a consistent, as a consistently profitable trader. And I had problems even when I was quote consistent, where I would give back days, weeks, or months of hard grinding work. You wake up early. I live in California. It's tough, man. You wake up early and you go to work. You do this every day. You're trying to make your money every day, and it's not easy. It's not easy. All of you are traders. You know it's not easy. If you think trading's easy, um, then there's a handful of reasons why I think you might think it's easy, but I'm not even gonna get into that. So trading is really hard, and the last what are we in? October. So the last 6 months have been amazing for me. My biggest months I've ever produced, aside from July, I think it was with AWS, because I was willing to let my risk get a little loose. Um, but aside from that, yeah, I mean, the other 5 months have been an amazing dream. Genuinely, really, I feel most fortunate. And what you see on your screen, these checks, is not to brag. It's to show you what I discovered, what works for me, my personality, my behaviors, my attitude, my risk tolerance, my bankroll, all that stuff combined. Uh, Being consistently profitable, but eventually giving back days, weeks, or months worth of hard work over one red trade or one red day. That doesn't help any trader become, stay consistently profitable. That's not consistent. Excuse me. So I found a system that works for me, and anyone that went to boot camp is familiar with it. I got up in front and talked a little bit about it. Any of my friends know about it. Yes. Anyway, so what I do is I pay myself regularly, and that's every 1, 2, or 3 days on average. You can see by these checks, I got September 26, October 2, October 4, October 9, October 10. I had more come in. I got my mail yesterday. I'll just try and. So that's like October 11, October 12. I got more in my mail. I just haven't. I got more coming in the mail. I just haven't gotten my mail yet. Today's October 18th. But the reason I pay myself this frequently is because it does something to my brain personally and allows me to obey risk better. And this is the reward side. I get to pay myself. I get a paycheck every 1, 2, or 3 days. And then having that reward so frequently keeps it on my mind that when I start slipping and I get into the red on a trade, or maybe it's a trade I don't cut off as my plan as I plan to, I don't obey my risk on it, or a red day that gets ballooned bigger and bigger. These frequent rewards, these paychecks that I pay myself, it helps me keep a risk in mind, because I start realizing, okay, I'm slipping here, and I'm getting, I'm slipping up here, and I'm getting, pretty far away from my next check. I better put the brakes on this shit and cool it, because as you guys know, being a trader, it's really easy to go from taking a bad situation you put yourself in and compounding it and making it worse and worse and worse. And it's a slippery slope, man. Yeah, I assume I speak for everyone when I say we've all been there. I've been able to avoid it to my, to my delight, for basically the past 6 months, I've not put myself in that kind of situation using this new system. But rules are only as good if you follow them. And I got caught today. I got stubborn. I got stuck on PTI, and I got stuck really quick. And I sized. There was a few problems with the trade. I made a few errors. I made a few mistakes that I've reflected on throughout the day. Um, so this isn't my usual recap. This is, but you know, we're still going to talk about it a little bit. But I, you know, I misled myself into thinking that the float was over 30 million shares, and I didn't do the number crunching to show myself that it was much smaller, closer to 10 million shares. And so I sized for a 30 million plus float, which meant that I was way oversized. I had way too much size on. And even though the price action told me that red alert, this is not trading like this is over a 30 million share float. This is trading more like a 10 million share float. Uh, I just, yeah, I got, what do you want me? I didn't do what I was supposed to do. And I didn't follow my own rules, for basically the first time in 6 months. And so that's a big problem for me. The other problem with the short earlier on was it was the other red flag was potential red flag was it was easy to borrow. It was really easy to come by shares at more than one broker, and I overlooked that, and I knew I was overlooking it, but the qualities of the short to back the short thesis far outweighed the fact that it was easy to borrow for me. Um, what I failed to do was respect my risk, and what I failed to do was respect price. And no matter how biased we get, no matter how much we think we understand what's going on, price action is always the number one most important thing. It trumps everything. It's more important than everything. And yeah, so today was a rough day for me. I gave back a lot. Um, you know, I really tough to lose a month's work, when you're grinding it out every day, and you've been kicking ass, doing the best you've ever done for the last 6 months. You're having the best months you've ever produced. And man, I really took a bad situation, and I really made it worse today. And it just goes to show, rules are only as, they're put in, rules are an amazing thing. We create these rules so that we can follow them to our advantage, so that we can harness the power that the rule brings to us. But the rule is only good, obviously, if you follow it, if you use it. And so today's good. So I'd like to think today, I'd like to look at today as though today was a winning day for me. And the reason is because I found a flaw in my system, and I disobeyed my rules. So I took the last 6 months, and I had some big errors I did today. So the reason that's an advantage to me is because I only lost what I lost, and I could have lost a lot more. Like, this could have been much, much uglier, even if you can't believe that. But it absolutely could have been much uglier. So for that, I'm fortunate, and I'm fortunate I only lost what I did, and I'm fortunate to experience today. And that's a different point of view than a lot of people. I got a lot of messages today over Twitter, DMs. I got some PMs in chat. A lot of people lost a lot shorting this thing today. Adding to loser, getting bigger. I fell victim to. I put myself in the same situation, and I paid the price. But I'm here to tell you, number one, to share my loss with you. I haven't experienced a loss of this magnitude, or close to it, since I'd say almost August last year, August 2017, dries, when it halted in pre-market, and the news came out that the dilution was ending, or anyways, the news came out, and it gapped up bigly in pre-market, and I was stuck with an oversized short position. So I don't play that situation anymore. I've avoided. I lost a lot more than I did today on PTI. But anyways, my point is, it's been a while since I've been here, and it's a big red flag to me, and it's an opportunity for me to figure out what I need to do to prevent this from happening again, because this is basically unacceptable to me. And so what am I going to do about it? Well, first, let's check out my chart. As you can see, I started in pre-market and got some okay trades off. Then we popped up here before the open, and I started getting some, some good size on. And I took a lot of it off here on the offer. Started back in shortly after. I don't know why. Thinking whatever I was thinking. I'm not going to get too much into the trade recap on this, but I after the open, I put it all back on and more, and then I just basically ate. I went max size on this thing, and I ate it all. I ate it all. Little almost at 8. It looks like I'm not clear wherever those arrows are. I ate it, and yeah. So here, let's share the P&L because this is real. Whoops, that's not P&L. 1 second. So there's P&L. So yeah, so not my best moment today, but an opportunity in the making. So if I want, I could curl up. I did not blow up. Yes, this was a significant chunk out of the account. Like I said, it's been a while, but this did not need to happen at all. And, to reverse a month's worth or a little more than a month's worth of work on one red trade is just not how this works. That's not sustainable. That is not how this game is played. And I found myself in the situation before I knew it, and oddly enough, I won't even get into it when I was experiencing the numbers. But my point is that I want to use this as an opportunity. I know a lot of people were hurt today on the short side on PTI, and I got a lot of messages. Some of them I haven't even responded to yet. But my point is, if it's an opportunity, what can we do to benefit from it? And in my case, I didn't follow rules. So again, rules are here to help us. Rules are here to protect us, our capital, that kind of thing. So if I'm not following rules, maybe I need to tweak something in my system. The system I've been using the last 6 months have been working like a dream. I've just not, I've never experienced anything like this before. So, I'm not quite sure what the answer is yet, but I'm still processing this. A loss like this size for me to reverse 4 or 5 weeks worth of work is not, that doesn't make me happy. So I'm still processing it. I'm still I go through I'm sure a lot of, I don't want to speak for everyone, but if you were long today, great, congratulations. That's good for you. Good for you, man, for spotting that trend, whatever your reason was. I mean, clearly price was in trend. I mean, we tested VWAP once, maybe twice, and it was just a choo-choo train all day long. And it had some short spots to it, but not, I mean, the big picture was a long idea here. But yeah, so I don't know if I'm mumbling. Let me try and get back to where I was. So to experience a loss like this, I'm still processing it, and it's taking time, but I plan to put a plan together, and I think part of that's going to be some type of I haven't been journaling as much as I used to, so I think I'm going to expand on my journaling, excuse me, and start writing down more about how I traded through the day, how I felt through the day when I was trading, the things that are important to me. How did I do on my entries? How did I do on my exits? Etc. Things like that. And just, it's pretty advantageous, pretty useful journaling. And I've gotten into a rhythm the past 6 months, and I've been journaling a lot less. So I'm definitely going to start the journaling up again. Um, and I think a huge thing for me is float. You know, I got lazy, and I didn't do something as simple as computing the float. And you know, you can't just take you know, Yahoo Finance or FinViz. You can't take it for face value, and you know, a lot of the time, some of the time, it just it's not the truth. The float's either bigger than you think or smaller than you think. And if you're a short seller, you need to know what the float is. You need to have a really good idea what the float is. So that was a huge mistake for me, and that led me to oversizing today, and then me not obeying my risk. Uh, made it even compounded the problem and took a bad situation and made it terrible. I mean, I did not trade well today. Yeah, this is like, you know, me naked in front of you guys, if you will. This is pretty not cool. Pretty not okay. So I plan to flip this on its head. I plan to put changes in place. Look at my system from head to toe. See how I got a big hole in my ship, considering I haven't really had one in the last 6 months, and move forward. If you blew up today on PTI, I suggest a similar approach, although you might be out of trading capital right now. But putting a plan together and assessing your situation, even if that means you have no trading capital, putting a plan into place, whether that means going back to work or finding some money or saving money if you already have a job, whatever you need to do, limit going out to the movies or eating out as much. I don't know what it is. My point is, if you blew up today or yesterday on YECO, thankfully I avoided that one, but I got some messages yesterday. Um, you know, look at it as an opportunity, even if you blew up. You know, if you see that however much money you lost, you're fortunate that that event happened. That takes a different point of view to acknowledge and see that. And if you can understand that, that can help you prevent from losing multiples more in the future than what you lost today on PTI or what you lost yesterday on YECO. And that's exactly the type of thinking I plan to do for PTI today. So this is a little longer than I hoped for, but I just wanted to keep it real and, you know, see if I could help anyone out there, because this is what I went through today, and I'm glad to share it with anyone if it can help anyone out. So thank you for listening, and we'll talk soon. Bye.